Welcome back. Talofa lava, thank you for joining me today. First, we ask our Heavenly Father, Jesus and the Holy Spirit to bless this show with divine wisdom. This is a talk show where we celebrate, debate, question, interview topics that are happening around the whole of Moana Pacific. Thank you guys for joining me today. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there on this special Sunday, which is the true intention of giving thanks to our mothers. We have our show with the Honourable Dr. Tuilaepa coming up. I was told to have his time a little bit earlier this time, just to make it easier for him, because I know he has an interview with the HRBP media, and so to make it easier for him, I'm trying to slot in as quick as I can after him. But I'm not sure if he's adjusted or knows the update yet. But whatever's easier for him, I just thought I'll just start the show. As we wait for the Honourable Dr. Tuilaepa to come and join us. As today we know it's Mother's Day, and I thought to come and give a special mention to our mothers. I think our people, we all know, how important it is to have our mum, and and how much they play a major role in our families, whether we like to admit it or not. And they're the center of our family. It completes a man. When a man is single and when a man's growing up, they're not complete until they find a woman. And that woman is pretty much the center of how the family is ran. And so I've told you last week about my story going to school. So I went to boarding school from year 7, year 12. A lot of my time was going to school, was at school. I slept at school, and my education was there. And the positives and negatives of it, one of the biggest negatives was being away from family. And, it was really hard for me to kind of like adjust, but I eventually adjusted to a school where it was just all Bailangis, and I'm just I'm the big islander there, brown islander in the middle of this whole spectrum of white around me, and it took me some time to adjust, but one thing I did really miss was home, and I remember coming to school, and it's always hard because always thinking about your mom, and also I'm very close with my mum's mum, which is Fiku, and people who know her, she's a pretty aggressive woman, strong woman, very aggressive but big heart, at heart, and so we were going to boarding school for the first time, and I was trying to psych myself up. I'm like, I'm happy, this is a good cause. And my dad was saying, this is good for you. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is good for me, all right. But in my heart, I was thinking, oh man, I don't know. Then I went there, and then they had the last days, and they said goodbyes to everyone. And before they went and set up my room and my bed, and put my stuff in the locker room, and all the family, my aunties and my nana was there, my mom, and then next thing they came and they said, okay, this is the goodbye. The boys are gonna jump on the bus. So I got to see the other Balangis. They were all literally up to my chest. When I got there, they had the year 12s there, and those year 12s, and I was in year 7. I was the same height with the majority of them. There was only I was pretty much the same height as the year 12s, and all the Balangis were just like up to my chest, and it was exciting, but the year 12s helped me along, and being an islander, and we hopped on the bus, and this was saying goodbye, and then I was saying goodbye, and I just remember just tearing and being emotional, and my nana started asking. I was like, just bring the man. He's saying to someone, just bring him back. Don't worry about what are you guys taking him to a. But so I ended up tearing up, emotional, and you can imagine I'm in the bus full of Palangis up to my chest, and then only the year 12s all up at the back, trying to comfort the year 7s, and I'm in a bus, and I'm saying goodbye, and I'm all emotional, and then looking at my family outside the bus because they're not going to be there when we come back. And then I'm just like, say goodbye, and then you see, I didn't want to look, and I was just like, yeah, emotional. And you're just a big islander kid in the middle of the bus, and everyone else is all looking like, it was I could imagine just looking at that scene, just thinking, oh man, it's awkward. It's an awkward scene, but I miss those days. And one of the hard things going to boarding school was, missing your mum and your family and dad. But it was hard for her too, but yeah. But just thinking, and when you remind your memories, it just kind of reflects. But so yes, and so 2000 in year 7, and then to year 12, and then I came out in 2009, and 2009, 10, 11, 12, and that's when you're just on top of the world. You think even after that, you just, when you're young, you're just a different person, and you're so much built up energy, you got so much things going on after school. That's why I understand a lot of these people like fast. I understand your ways. I understand the built up of what's like, of energy. And so, yeah, lost. But a lot of the times, I treasure those few years before my mum, was gone to heaven. And there's some videos online they're saying like, she's, I'm always trying to like put it off, like, nah, I'm the tough, like, don't worry about it, it's just not gonna happen. But but God had plans. God had plans, and from then on, there's been a lot of lessons and a lot of learning, and so a lot of learnings, a lot of stuff that I went through after that, and maybe like since now, like and I'm grateful to have that little time with my mom. And so I went through that learning stage as you do when everyone's got their own little story, but like it's not until now in like the last few years to starting to put my head up since she's passed in 2012. People know about the scenario. Now I'm fortunate enough to get a new mum, Ainu, and she's been like a rock for us at the moment, and helping our family to stabilize, because being away from, having your mum go off and then like having yourself to kind of like being the oldest trying to hold your family and help out, it's almost like when you're driving and then you lose a tire, you're unbalanced there. You try your best to fill that tire and push forward and push forward. And so I've been that tired to trying to balance it. And then Ainu had come in and really helped to kind of adjust that tire, that missing tire for our family. And adjust it. Yeah, there was adjustments, it wasn't just breezy, but there was adjustments. And I had to readjust myself and my thinking as well. Being the spare tire, and then when Ainu comes in and she becomes the tire, and then I had to adjust to my own self and where I'm at. And, just reflecting on, the time, I think to kind of being Mother's Day, I think it's always good to remember, having your mothers to always make sure that you're putting the extra intention to being grateful if she's there. But if not, we got our God there to help us, along with Mother Mary, our Christian mother, that we can all lean on to get inspiration. But mothers is the center point of every family, and I've learned that a lot, ever since losing my mum in 2012. But I'm fortunate enough to have Ainu to fill that spot. And I know a lot of people, giving it to her, because she's very similar to my nana, and I love my nana so much. And my nana's very aggressive woman. She's a strong woman, and there's a lot of things that she carries, and deep behind that, the hardness it's the biggest heart, and also I miss my nana so much as well, and so this woman really shaped me who I am. My mum's very soft, quiet spoken, but she likes to be an ear to a lot of people, and so a lot of people she likes to listen, and she will comfort them. And she worked at the housing department in Blacktown, so that's why when I went to Blacktown the other day, it's weird because it's a lot of new ethnicity, new type of people in Blacktown. But she worked at the housing department, helping the poor get the people who are less fortunate to can't afford those renting to get assistance from the government. So that was her job. And a lot of the times people will come in on drugs and angry, and she would have to deal with these type of people. Some people with distress, and my mum will do her best to help these people get a house. And a lot of them are Samoan, and so she would try and do her best to help them get a house and get them off the street. But she was you don't realize, as a young boy, as a young man coming up, you don't realize until they're gone, and then you're like, man, it's different. You thought like, I'm gonna have my mum and dad forever, but I think sometimes, you gotta kind of like make sure and be grateful. I think this is why one of the emotions that God always pushes is to have gratitude, to be grateful for what you have. And so, yeah, shout out to the mums that are all out there, even the mums and how much they do. The amount of stuff the mums do for a lot of the families, that's why I say, if you see a successful man, it's always because there's a successful woman behind, a stronger one behind them. So that saying is very, very true. And not saying that you can't be successful without a woman, but if you want to feel the wholesome feeling, and we all come back to our families, and that's why I always I always look at people, and I'm looking at them like, oh, they're well adjusted, their brain is switched on, and they're fully wholesome. If I'm looking at behind them and seeing them, oh, it's a woman there, and she must be good because this guy's really good. So shout out to all the mums out there, even the young mums, and shout out to the mums that don't have single mums as well. I hope God blesses you guys with more abundance for you guys for taking that role as being a single mum, and raising your child by yourself for whatever the scenario it is. But I hope God blesses you with more abundance and support through your time. But happy Mother's Day to everyone. I'll just go to a break and see if we can get through to the Honourable Dr. Tuilaepa. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. That was Dr. Tuilaepa's choir, a seal singer, Catholic choir. I have once again the special guest, Honourable Dr. Tuilaepa, former Prime Minister of 22 years. It's a pleasure to have you on again, Dr. Tuilaepa. Happy Mother's Day to your beautiful wife. How was your Sunday?
It was all right.
I know you got I know you got somewhere to be, so I'll be quick with my questions, Honourable. I wanted to start off with the Tuilaepa investigation. You know, the New Zealand police are coming to Samoa, but they seem to have assisting the Samoan police. But I'm a little bit puzzled. Should there be a court case on this, or is this investigation the way to go to finding out the truth, Honourable?
Well, it's been in the papers that the New Zealand government was requested for clarification. And it seems that the New Zealand police have said that the police in Samoa are quite capable of carrying out the investigations into the death of Tuilaepa. And they have several that are here only on advisory capacity.
So
to me, it's completely unnecessary. The local police has the capacity. If it is, but as you know, the court case has already been held, and the decision from the judge completely ignored the witnesses provided by the police. That is also our concern. And so we are looking at the question of appealing the decision by the court.
It almost seems, Honourable, like it's almost like a cover when you say I'm going to bring the police to come and assist. It's not to investigate themselves. It's to assist. That's what my interpretation is. Honourable, do you think that's what it looks like? What the Prime Minister is trying to do?
The whole thing is, is questionable, because the Prime Minister himself was one of those who were charged with by the police for perverting the course of justice. So that is an area that is that has given us the decision that we need to follow up for an appeal against the court decision.
A lot of the stuff, Honourable, you say there is very true.
Well, it's you see, the prime minister is interfering. That's the word, interfering with the way with the commissioner of police powers. And we'll wait and see.
I understand, we have you're treading a fine line because you have a court case. I wanted to ask you, Honourable, how was your court case? Are there any things we need to be aware of, or any conditions that we have to make sure we don't cross the line, Honourable, for you to get in trouble?
Well, this is judgmental on my part. So, as you see, the decision goes against my oath to speak the truth, my oath to talk openly on issues for which we need to tell the government that what they do is not right. The court is also aware of my right of freedom to express my views, especially when I am also a leader of the opposition.
That's right.
But I do take the point, and I have been trying very hard to toe the line.
Well, Honourable, because I know this is with the education, the current MP member who's the head of the education. Is it the head education or the health? And so this subject here, Honourable, this story that's coming out is the Motuotua hospital. The morgue is closed it has been closed for the last 3 weeks, Honourable. Last 3 weeks. So it seems that now, like last week with we were saying they're closing medications off. You can access these medications through the private industry now. Now when we're talking about the morgue, it's been closed for the last 3 weeks. Now you have to go to a private morgue if you want to see if someone passes away. It's a big difference. $350 if it was in the public morgue, Honourable. But now if you go to a private morgue, you're looking at $1,000 to $2,000 for a family.
Very expensive.
Very expensive.
Very expensive. That is the reason why the health authorities must always ensure that public morgue continues to be open to the public.
Honourable, I've looked deeper into the story. I'm not sure, but they had new renovations done just in 1 year ago. And now they're closing it. For the last 3 weeks, it's been closed. So it's almost like, what is the reason for this? Oh, well, we know the reason is for the equipment is not working. But where's the money to fix it? Are we run out of money that bad that we can't even fix something so important?
It is not the question whether you have a little money or what. In the end, it's a question of priority. Every country, like America, with trillions of dollars in the budget, they cannot do everything in 1 year. They have to establish priority. The same thing with any government, even our own government. There are established priorities. But when you do not have any priority, and what is done is wrong, it comes down to the question of priority. Wrong priority.
I've just read another article from, you talk about priority. It seems that $5 million has been pushed to the Independence Day. $5 million. And also looking at that, they're wanting to prioritize a court being built in Savai'i. It seems like the courts and having festivities is more important than the morgue, Honourable. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's not new. If you remember, when they first came into power, they decided to have a whole year of celebration. And you know what it means? A whole year of celebrations means a whole year of party, nothing doing. And then this guy comes up again with a prolonged period of enjoyment, celebrating the independence. What is there to celebrate? We have all the problems in the world right now.
You're so right, Honourable. I just don't understand how you can have $5 million going to festivities, yet they can't even go and fix up the morgue. So the people have to go to the private morgue area. It's just really...
I have been recommending in my recent interview that what the government must do is to do some urgent decision making in order to have some funds. A lot of promises have been made but have not been kept. Like, for instance, 150 that was promised to be distributed per person. A lot of people have not received the 150. So what they must do is now to stop all overseas travel. Secondly, to cut down on the use of vehicle. Thirdly, they also should cut down on their salaries, like what the Fiji government has done. There's no problem in cutting them by 50%. Then, in doing that, then we will all be as poor as the general public.
Seems like that's the group to be around. These government officials that have been living a good life. Honourable, and it's funny, Honourable. That's just exactly what they claimed you living the good life with many houses around the world. It's funny how these things come and do a 360.
Just on that point, I have been challenging them to produce evidence. They have not a single evidence because I don't have any house anywhere in the world. I only have my house here where I am talking from. I don't have a house in New Zealand or Australia or in America. We did not also sell any traditional lands. But this is what is happening now. People tend to believe anything that is being told by the government.
Well, I feel like, when I had looked back in the comments, a lot of the times when we first got to talking, a lot of the people were saying the stuff that you're talking about, the lands, talking about you're corrupted. Now I can see the comments are starting to calm down a little bit, which is good to see, because I think these people are starting to realize that the story that's being told is not true. Honourable, I got here on the Cabinet approves extra $2 million for overseas medical treatment. Is this a thing where, they mentioned here that the Prime Minister had stopped short of talking about his own trip expenses going to New Zealand. So is this Could this extra $2 million be because of this, the Prime Minister's extra treatment to New Zealand, Honourable?
Well, we really don't know.
Honourable, we talk about the cost
See,
of...
when we talk about transparency and accountability, principles of good governance, unfortunately, there is no such thing in Samoa.
A fuel response plan. Do you want to advise the Prime Minister, Honourable? You know, with you guys got the crisis happening in Samoa where you guys don't have a fuel plan, but it seems like the prices of living, the cost of living is rising, especially for these businesses like buses and taxis. You know, if the petrol goes up, it's a little profit that they're going to make, or if any profit, Honourable. Should you advise the Prime Minister, is there a fuel response plan for this crisis in overseas?
There is nothing, no plan at all.
Your next setting, is this something that you're going to advise the Prime Minister for your next Parliament sitting? Is this something that your HRPP would suggest to the party, or would they just refuse to listen? Honourable, what's your thoughts?
Well, regardless of whether they want to listen to us, we'll continue to speak up.
I crossed to, thank you, Honourable, for that. I crossed over to the education area. The teacher shortages, funding. Now we have funding from the one government grant still held up. Yet we got a shortage of teachers now. 710 teachers this year, 510 next year. Honourable, are we running out of teachers? They got a 6-month program now for mothers to become educators now, but they're going to ask mothers to be educated to become teachers now. The solution?
Well, even the teachers are running away too. Why continue to live in a country when your interests are not taken care of? But what was very strange was that the government is saying we should go to New Zealand and Australia to get teachers from. Even Australia and New Zealand are very short of teachers. So we have a case here of complete ignorance of what is going on in New Zealand and Australia in respect of teachers.
The 8 a.m. school hours, Honourable, on this education area, is this what kind of move where you guys had changed that? Now the new government has now changed it back to the 8 a.m. start. Is this a logical or common sense move from the government, or?
Well, what we had tried to do is to have daylight savings. And extending the light hours by the simple use of the mind, by changing the times, 1 hour forward, 1 hour backward. And in doing that in times when we have short days, it helps all our students who have to wake up early in the dark and walk over to catch the bus, which is very dangerous for those young men who go out and abuse the young girls in particular. And that's why by changing the hours, it means that by 7 o'clock, the sun is already up high. And this is when we have short days from April forward.
Okay.
And changing it backward again in October. So this is the way we use the elements of the mind to extend light hours or to shorten light hours. And it worked perfectly. But just because it was started by the HRPP, they just came and canceled it.
Too much politics, Honourable. Politics, politics, politics. You know, we talk about politics now and we have the by-election, and I've seen the figures, $340,000 for 4 elections. And I'm just thinking, if we can just allow HRPP and the independents to just have the power of the pen, we wouldn't have this $340,000 going towards these, these by-elections, Honourable. And now we are having shortages of funds everywhere. And now the funds are going into by-elections, it's going into Independence Days, it's going into projected courthouses in Savai'i. Honourable, these priorities of the government, it's just, it's mind-boggling. I don't understand it. I really don't understand the government, but I don't want to go at the government too much, Honourable. And I come to my last question. It's about the rugby. I had I had my own little talk yesterday, and I've listened to you over the years, Honourable, about it's not the administration of rugby union Lakapi. It's the players' fault. The players need to perform. And I said yesterday, Moana Pacifica is exactly the same thing that you mentioned before with the Manu Samoa. Moana, and we have this player, Ari Savea, and I seen a video of Ari Savea. He went to a different element when he secured the ball to win the game against the Blues. And if you see the video, he got the ball and he just looked like a lion. You know, his chest was pumping and looking at the crowd. It was almost like he was a different person. And I was saying that this is a self-esteem. This is the self-belief. I feel like our boys and the suffering of the Moana and also the Manu Samoa is they don't have the self-belief like Ari Savea, like Jai Opataya, like these people who are superstars in the sports. And I'm looking at the talent of Samoa. It's there. It's the self-belief. Honourable, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, you're quite right. But to ensure that we utilize those talents, we need to give them the opportunity to play at international competitive level. And to do that, we need money. Money. Even the All Blacks is suffering from money everywhere. What can we do when our government deliberately stops providing funds to help our rugby?
The last part here, Honourable, you're talking about funding. Now I saw a nice story, the rugby funding Federal Pacific Insurance Company, $3 million boost to the Lakapi Samoa. Is this a good thing, Honourable? Is this the good direction for Lakapi Samoa?
This is a great sponsorship. This is a great sponsorship. And if we have 3 or 4 of these kinds of sponsorships, we will be okay.
Yeah, I was really happy to see that. Honourable, that's all my questions done for today. I thank you for your time. I'll leave you to the last word if you have anything that you want to talk about. But happy Mother's Day to your family, to your wife. Any last words for the mothers? You know, thank you, Honourable.
Well, I want to congratulate mothers for their holiday, special day. When we became the government in 1982, we had a big meeting to organize the 2 women organizations in Samoa into one. The women organization sponsored by the wives of Tama'ainga, and the women organization Committee Tuilaepa, established during the time of the New Zealand administration to take care of hygiene in the village. And the two organizations work very well. And when we tried in 1983 to see whether they can work together, the animosity between the two organizations was very severe. The Committee Tuilaepa, or the hygiene-based committee of women, were opposed to the other organization, whose only function was to come and sleep outside the Mother Center in Apia and cleaning off rubbish. So arising out of these huge differences, we, under Tuilaepa created the Ministry of Women. I believe it was the first island country to have formed up a Ministry of Women, build their own headquarters for their meetings, and promote works that are related to women affairs, cultural, and also health matters in the village, and gave them a holiday. It caused quite a bit of anger amongst the men, because we did not give them a similar privilege. In the end, we also gave them a special day for men. But not only the creation of the Ministry for Women, we also promoted all the women in Samoa who have qualification and also have the experience to become CEOs of ministries in organizations. And not only that, we also created a national council, a national committee in each village of women, for them to discuss issues and bring them to the attention of the government. They also form up a group in the village to weave the fan mats. So, and not only that, we also promoted the 10% representation in order for them to become members of parliament, with a very special provision that there shall be no less than 10 members of 10 women, 10% women, to be elected with a formula that I drew up. What we did became a major reform for all the parliament of the world. And there were a lot of parliaments who copied what we did. So these were the things that we did that I had to remind the women to make full use of the privileges that we established way back in 1983 onwards, over 40 years. So very briefly, I take this opportunity once again to congratulate all the women for a happy holiday, a happy Sunday, and a holiday tomorrow, national holiday tomorrow. And with these few words, I send my personal greetings and best wishes to all the women of Samoa, overseas and local, who are tuning in to our program. Congratulations once again for persisting with our program every Sunday.
Thank you, Honourable. Thank you for your time.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you. Thank you, guys. We just finished with the Honourable Dr. Tuilaepa, the opposition leader of Samoa, and you know, he's a man of, he's got something to go to now. But I like it short and sweet. You know, it seems like we're going over and over the same topics every week. The same topics. At the end of the day, it comes back to there's no money in the government. You know, the shortages of money. But when there is money, you know, because it's not so much about how much money is in an account. There's ways for money to come in. So, but when the money is there for them to kind of project to the Samoan community or Samoa, where does the money get allocated to? Right. Instead of going to the teachers, to the grant to help the schools open, the disability schools, instead of going there, instead of going to the Safata, you know, the money that the Safata are yet to receive, the 1,100 per person, instead of going to that, instead of going to the Motootua Hospital morgue, which has been closed for the last 3 weeks, it goes to like things like the $5 million goes towards the Independence Day. $5 million goes to these, an extra $2 million goes to the medical treatment overseas. You know, so there's $10 million allocated for the people that go and get, make sure that their health is okay. They don't have the facilities here. So they go to New Zealand. So it's 10 million already given for these Samoans. But now they just recently increased to $2 million. And so the question is why I raised it with the Honourable Tuilaepa is because the Prime Minister had just taken a jet to New Zealand, but it's just the transparency that we're trying to seek here. You know, if you're a leader of the country, you know you do the honourable thing and you know share with people the financial backing behind it. If you got nothing to hide, say it. But if you're hiding something, I think the people of Samoa deserve to know about it anyway. And because you are in the position of Samoan money. That's the only reason why the government exists. Because of this whole ecosystem from the people's money. And it's not making that, and this is where the argument of a lot of the HRBP and a lot of the people that look at the government at the moment, it's not saying that they're not against what's happening personally towards these people. It's the privilege of how fast government are standing in power at the moment. You know, it's almost like they stand there with it's their money. You know, the fast government they're literally dictating and saying, well, yep, get the money and go put it over there. You know, the money goes over here, the money goes over there. So you feel that these people talk as if it's their own money. But, you know, at the end of the day, and a lot of people could see, it's like, hold up, Lauli, Prime Minister, that's not your money, mate. That's not your money. You're just being given the position just to lead where the money goes and to lead to better prosper, to make Samoa better. That's your only job. Your job isn't to tell people, hey, well, listening to me. This is where we're criticizing the government at the moment. We're criticizing Lauli so many times, and people trying to get personal with us and say, oh, mate, Mike, stop. Now leave Lauli le Malietoa alone. He's our great leader. Even when I was listening to the fast media, they're saying, our leader. You know, but it's not something personal against this man, Lauli. It's because he's been given the crown of the job and the crown to lead the mass Samoa's money when it all comes in. It's been given the job to make sure Samoa is taken care of. So that doesn't mean that you hold the crown and then you go, well, I can do whatever I want to do, and you stop the money here. We've got to criticize because the Samoans are suffering here. The schools are not open over here. There's by-elections and people turning within each other. You know, this is the stuff that what a government is supposed to do. A government is to make sure that the money that it receives, it's distributed properly. And the issues that are happening in Samoa, well, then the government has the power, because the power is invested into them, because they won the election, to put the money in a responsible way to go put it to that, so to make sure our people are okay. Put it to that, make sure the people are okay. Okay, yep, oh, we got you, yep. But what's happening now? Okay, the morgue is closed over here, Prime Minister. Okay, just close it down. If they want to go get service, go to the private institution. Oh, over here, like we don't have any medications for the public hospital. Well, if they want the medicines, go to the private, to the education, to these private clinics. They'll find the medicine there. So it's like, see, these people, like the people who own private clinics, these people who own the private morgue, are they friends with Laoli? That's the question. It seems like the only people in Samoa that's winning are friends with Laoli. The only people that are allowed to give the money out to the people of the $2 million for each district, who? The friends of Laoli. The friends of Laoli is the only people that are benefiting. But your responsibility, Laoli, is to, when the money comes in, make sure Samoa is taking care of that person here, right? But then you got the media trying to push our great leader. No. Laoli is just like every Samoan, any other Samoan. He's nothing different. That's the thing that, when God says, don't put anyone on a pedestal. Don't put them on a pedestal as if they're special, and then the other Samoan kid is not special. Mate, we're all on the same level. We give respects to people who do a special job. So, of course, I want to give my respects to people that do a great job. Because that's just part of the job. Like, if you do a good job, you get a pat on the back. So you've got to give that respect and say, Honourable, thank you for your works. So I give my respects to Honourable Tuilaepa because of his works that he's done since he's been inside the parliament, since he's been MP, his service. So I give him his pat on the back. And so when people start to look at Laoli and say, oh, this great man, no. Get your mind, and they say, well, what, you did it to Tuilaepa? Tuilaepa's been there he's 80. He's 80. Don't compare Laoli to Tuilaepa. You can't compare. The only thing that Laoli has brought is patriotism. He's used the social media to sing songs, to say prayers, and get the emotional touch of our people, which is great. But at the end of the day, we see what's happening with the financials. It's absolutely BS. It's absolutely BS. And this is where I was looking at when Tuilaepa's great service, and he's like, I'm not looking for validation to say I'm this and that. No, he's not looking for that. But then when someone comes with charisma, takes the spotlight and says, put it on me, and says, look at these guys, taking stuff like, they're, implying that these guys are corrupt, implying that these guys are bad, right? And so they say all the right words, and then the whole mass is like, yes, I like this Laoli guy. He's relatable. He's such a good bloke, mate. I listen to him. He's spot on. And then you come to look at the financials and the books behind the scenes. It's rubbish, mate. It's rubbish. This is the point that we're trying to make here. Like, we can go over and over and go round and round and round and round and say, the schools. Mate, at the end of the day, everything on my list here, it's all coming back to money. Yeah? It's all coming back to money. And when it comes back to money, who controls the money? Laoli. Yet the media are screaming, Laoli, you are the greatest leader. Leave Laoli alone. You've missed the point. Laoli is just a person to make sure Samoa is okay, to make sure the money is distributed properly. That's it. Whatever good works Laoli does, good. We all have to give him the credit. But how can I give him the credit when the morgue is closed? $350 for the morgue for you to use it. So the Samoan family has to pay. When someone passes away, the body goes to the morgue. So you pay $350 from the public hospital. And then you pay $350 a week, and then you pay $1,000 to $2,000 to the private clinics. The Samoan people are suffering here. And who's responsible for that? The man who says, bring that $5 million and put into make our festivities, make it happy, and bring the other money. Oh, what about the stuff? Don't worry. But they've been waiting $10 million since last year, Prime Minister. Can you just shush? And then the media's like, bring Laoli up. How can you treat him like this? No, we're not against Laoli personally. We're against the fact that he's using the money of Samoa to act like he's someone special. That's the issue that we have. At the end of the day, Laoli is no different to any other Samoan. How come he gets the rights? Because what? Because he starts the song, because he knows how to start the song in a beautiful tone, and say, because the MPs for HRPP, they don't know how to start a song. You're saying that's the reason? Come on, mate. At the end of the day, you always look at the books. You can always tell by a good person by looking at the books. So after they fully said to everyone, corrupt lands, they're stolen by Tuilaepa, the houses, and everyone was listening, right? Now you guys allow Laoli to come in and say, okay, let him come in. He's in. And now the books are open and saying, well, the books aren't open because this is another thing. They don't bring the books and show everyone what's happening. They don't come to government and do the right thing and say, here guys, this is our books showing everyone. They don't do that. They find a way to not do that. So in other words, all Laoli has done with the government of what the truth is or what's happening is just come out and literally said the right words, start a few songs, start to say prayers, got a group of people supporting him, chucked red all over him to signify that you're with him. So when he sees you in red, he says, here, I'll get your job. You're in, I'll get your job. That's BS, mate. And that's what I hate. I absolutely cannot stand people who are who are only fair to those people, but then are not fair to these people. Discrimination. I absolutely cannot stand that. So that's why I'm so vocal. This is why I'm so strongly against the government of Samoa, what they're doing, and on the way they're leading the Samoan government. I'm against it. I support the government, but I'm against what they're doing. Putting money here, but not putting money here. This is why even the court case with the Tuilaepa, it comes back down to, they're trying to say, he's defaming him. Mate, that's little kid stuff. This MP, little kid stuff. These guys are alright because they're okay. They're in good places. But what about the small Samoan, the Samoan, that's not the lower class? What about those Samoans? That's how you know how well you're doing as a leader. You are a good leader if the small man is doing well. So the service of what the last government has done, what HRPP have done, the airlines, they set up everything. Everything has been set up properly. Everything has been set up properly, and it's just been running in a certain way. The only thing that I would say that is lacking from the HRPP at that time was just the media. They didn't emphasize on how the media overseas was done. That's the only thing. So that's a lesson they can learn. But the first government came and took advantage of that media thing. And then now when they come in, now the books are out of shape. The books are absolutely out of shape now. So it's like, mate, I can't we shouldn't just sit here and just take it. And take it listening to these guys on Radio Samoa, these guys on Blue TV, these guys from overseas. They're getting paid. They're getting paid money. getting paid money to just lie to the people, yet they can't even go to Samoa. This is how bad it's got. People who are just getting paid, just, money, and then they can't even go to Samoa because they'll get sued. And it's like, mate, what are you doing? You're not even helping Samoa. They keep on saying they are. They're not. Just keep it to perspective, guys. Laoli is no different to any Samoan. We are all the same. In God's eyes, it doesn't mean, oh, look at who's that? Oh, Laoli, you're that special. No. There's no one special. We're all the same. I think about mothers, this is the thing, when I was reflecting last week on the stories, a lot of these things, like the teachers, how many of our teachers are women? How many of those nurses that were like at the start, that were not getting paid, 4 months with no money coming through? It's almost like our women are suffering a lot here in Samoa. The graduates for nurse, no pay for 4 months. Now they fix it up. Thank God they did that. But then they got the teachers thing here. Now we're 710 teachers that are leaving, that don't have, there's no the 700 teachers shortages. 710 teachers. You see the woman, this is Mother's Day. Where's our leader to show his respect to all Samoans? That's why I say this term always, get off your high horse, mate. Get off your high horse. It's almost like when they're on a horse paddling, they're paddling together like a king, And we're saying to you, Laoli, get off your high horse and come here and help the people, help the morgue, help the medicines, the little people, help them. That's your job. Not come and say, oh, you want some money? You want some money? You vote for me and then I'll get in. And then forget about them. And all you guys who are trying, if you do abuse and try to have a go at me, mate, you're okay by yourself. But I'm talking about your duty. You will never be in that position, so you will never ever be in a position like that. But I'm talking about people like Laoli, who are in a position to hold office for the Samoan people. You're not holding, it's not your money, Laoli. It's the Samoa's money. So make sure the little Samoan is okay as well. Not just your friends that are in high places like the clinics and these morgues. Not just those mates. Not your business mates, Laoli. This is why I'm trying to call you out. Where's your heart? Where's your values for Samoa? But that's my little take on what's happening in Samoa, because we're going around in circles and circles. I'm asking the same thing. It all comes back to money. $340,000 to buy elections. 340,000 tala. Buy elections, 340,000. That money could be going towards something else. They can go fix up the morgue. Well, why are we having the by-elections? Because Laoli's coming behind and he's finding ways like, you want the pen? Yeah, swap too fast. And then no, Laoli, that's the wrong way to do it. Stop playing your politics game, mate. We can see it. All of Samoa can see it. We can all see what's happening here. The only people that are trying to move away from it is Blue TV and all these guys trying to say, this, don't listen to these guys. But just remember, Blue TV get paid to talk and talk. They don't come and do it for free. Look at all the ads that get played. It's the money. It's a business. All the fake color that they do online, all the gossiping. They listen to their media. It's just gossiping. Mate, everyone can see it. Thank you, guys. Special mention to our mothers out there and everyone that's out there. Happy Mother's Day to all our mothers. And may God bless everyone to have another beautiful week ahead and may all our mothers get a special mention and a special boost for their day today, and also pray for anyone that's doing a hard, to our enemies that are against us. May God, you bless them and show them the light to lift them up to higher realms and higher vibrations. And anyone that's doing a hard, to make sure that they're healed. If they're doing a hard physically, make sure you heal them, God. And We ask this in your holy name. Amen.
Te se